like when I find myself with 5 sort of minutes to myself when the kids are off school now, and so I don't have a whole lot of time, but if I got 5 minutes to myself.
Are you like me? Do you think about Sutter with Pepsi?
No, I can't help myself now. Like I go and look at Francesco's latest tweet and just read the replies, and there was like the all-timer this past week.
Which was what?
Like, you know, so sometimes he'll tweet about hockey, but then at times he'll branch out as well.
Yeah.
So there was one this week about why in a great city like Vancouver can't we have Uber and Lyft? He just throws that out there on Twitter.
Yeah.
And the first guy in, the first response was, in a great city like Vancouver, why can't we have the Stanley Cup?
He gets drilled on his mentions all the time. Like, sell the team. What the hell are you doing?
It doesn't matter. There is a sell the team guy. Like every single. No matter what, he'll tweet about charity and the good stuff that like the Canucks Autism Network is doing or whatever, and sell the team. Because he had also tweeted out one about we're getting ready to celebrate our 50th anniversary of the Canucks. What's your favorite moment of all time? And again, like I just for kicks, I read the responses, and one of the first guys in was when we drafted Jack Hughes
in 2019.
Yeah. So it can get worse. See, you can.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse.
We've talked about changes to the lineup. We finally found out. It took a while, but they seem to have solidified their coaching staff and playing musical chairs with
it
the
finalized?
goalie. I think so.
They're not adding another assistant.
To the best of my knowledge, they're not adding an assistant. But they now apparently they've taken the lead of the Stanley Cup champs and have created a goaltending department now.
Oh, and another move I love. Like this is like people say like you hate everything, you're always the same. I love this. I love the idea of bringing in a guy like Ian Clark, who was in Vancouver to 2010, had a really acrimonious departure. I think Luongo was upset about it. Clark, definitely that regime, that executive group wanted nothing to do with Clark. There was some conflict over something they had agreed to and didn't agree to, and kind of a war of words. I didn't think I'd see him again back in Vancouver, but he goes to Columbus. Bobrovsky wins 2 Vezinas, I think in 4 years or 5 years there. And both the other 2 coaches in the Canucks organization, Sanford and Kluche, are both proteges of Clark, right? Like Clark's been around forever. Like I was talking to DiPietro. DiPietro as a kid was reading Ian Clark books about goaltending. So now you have 3 guys that are all inside. Kluche, very forward thinking. Like Clark's kind of stuck in his ways in some ways. They all come from the same kind of family cult of the same corner of the goalie world. Like their beliefs all tie in together. Kluche's a little bit more forward thinking. And, you know, he wants to go spend time with more of his family. And I think he has opportunity when his kids grow up, are a bit older. The roles can flip. Clark can be the director, and Kluche can be more hands-on with the team. But all the help, the more help that they can get for these developing goalies, especially DiPietro and Demko, the 2 guys that I think those are 2 guys that have a chance to be game changers, change the face of the franchise, get to the light at the end of the tunnel. The more voices that they're all kind of on the same page, but helping them with different things, I think is a great thing. The more attention to scouting goalies, finding other goalies, and there is no goaltending coach more plugged in to what is happening in Sweden, in Europe, hidden gems out there than Ian Clark. Like I think he's going to be great from multiple levels. It's a really good move, and I think that right now that they're the only team in the league to have like a three separate goalie coaches, a 3-tiered system. Washington had it last year, but Corns, I think, leaving or left on his way out. So they don't have that right now. Like, I heard someone was telling me, like, Kluche left because they weren't paying him enough. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely not the case. Like, the Canucks pay, man. They pay their goalie coaches. It's why when Rolly Melanson moved on and he wasn't ready to be the NHL head goalie coach anymore, he took a job for the AHL team because their AHL, the Canucks pay their minor league goalie coach NHL salary. Like they've invested, and that's fantastic. They've invested in that. I think it's going to show up on guys like DiPietro and Demko down the road. DiPietro is talking to Curtis Sanford, every other week. He's made big strides this year. Got the chance to play at the World Championship. Has a chance to play in the World Junior, hold gold. in Vancouver. It would be awesome. Great opportunities for them. And yeah, I love the whole concept. And I think that is one of the few areas, like I often say, like, why can't they be on the cutting edge of this or on the cutting edge of that? This is one area where I can say, yeah, they're on the cutting edge of goaltending setup for the organization.
So Ian Clark comes in, and you're guaranteeing Markstrom's going to win 2 Vezinas? Is that what? I didn't hear that.
No.
I did wonder. Like, Ian Clark was hired. They put the release out the other day. They've got this camp going on, and he was nowhere to be seen. And I thought that was interesting. But apparently, he is on his way over to Sweden right now.
Oh, he is.
To spend time with both Markstrom and Nilsson.
There you go.
So he's getting to know getting to know his goaltenders.
Love it.
Yeah.
See? It's working out already.
Who would you want to spend, like, if in the summer?
Oh my
Which
God.
goalie would you, Markstrom or Nilsson? Who would you want to spend time with?
Man, I think I'd go, like, Nilsson's calmer. He's more relaxed. Like, I don't think I could deal with the emotion. Like, I have emotional ups and downs over the course of a day and a week. Like, I need, like, my wife's, like, super calm all the time. Like, there's no big movements. Like, always the same flat line emotionally. So I would need to be around a guy like that. Like, I'd need to be around, like, my saddle mate, my wingman needs to be super calm.
You and Nilsson go get some ink, get tattoo. Well, they're both, I guess. So either guy might take it.
I'd let him pick out a tattoo for me, for sure.
Ear? If it was Markstrom, would you get an ear? No?
My God, man. Is that not, like, do you guys not think that that's the worst mask in the league? Can we not rally around that? It's fucking ears, man. Like, I swear, like, people... He's better than people think, and part of the reason that people like, oh, Markstrom sucks, are those fucking ears. Like, if he had a good, and I'm not even saying he has to have the best mask in the league, just a normal, average mask, I think the fans you'd see Markstrom jersey. Like, have you ever seen a Markstrom jersey at Rogers Arena?
I can't say that now that you mentioned it, I can't say that I have.
I'm telling you, it's the mask! It's the mask! And I've told him, I said to him, man, your mask sucks. Everyone, and he said, I know. It's like my dad, my dad hates my mask. He's always trying to talk me out of it. And I'm like, fuck, dude, you got to listen to your dad. Listen to him.
Well, there was that game late in the season. I remember, and I couldn't remember, like, you came into the rink, you were all excited, bouncing your step, and I couldn't figure out why. It was the night that he wore the other mask for charity.
Right.
Yeah.
Which a kid made. And it looked great. It looked fine. Like, some kid made it, and it looked great. It looked totally acceptable. And I tried to talk him into it. I said, you should switch. That mask is way better than the ears. And I think that he gets a kick that it pisses people off. So I think, like, I could see him, like, there was, like, he started getting that big fucking Markstrom smile. His chest starts popping up. Like, he's loving that I hate his mask. Fuck. He's like, put that right in my veins, man. Let me take your anger.
We'll see if the mask comes back, returns for 2018.
Oh, it's coming back. He's not, I'm telling you, he's all in on this. There was no budge. There was no, like, yeah, I'll think about it. So my dad hates it too. I love it. I love that you guys hate it. Why? I'm not telling you. It sounds ridiculous, but it happened.